Tragic news to bring you tonight. The Eastern Cape government has confirmed 27 initiates have died since the start of December. Parents have been urged to visit initiation schools to monitor and overlook the processes. For this, we can speak to the Eastern Cape Traditional Affairs Department spokesperson, Mr. Mamkeli Ngam. Mr. Ngam, a very good evening to you. Welcome to Newzroom Afrika. So these 27 initiates, how did they die?
Come again?
How did the initiates die?
What number did you mention, ma'am? I didn't hear that correctly.
I quoted the 27 from your statement earlier.
From my statement, that's incorrect, ma'am. We don't have that number. We've got 23 boys who have died.
All right. I was told that, apologies, I was told that the Eastern Cape Department had confirmed 27. 23, though, is still a worrying number.
Ma'am, I did
How did they die?
They died in the bush, ma'am.
What were the circumstances?
No, those are various circumstances under which they died, and what is going to happen, the Provincial Department of Health is going to conduct post-mortem investigations, and they are going to tell us as to exactly the cause of death. However, in the meantime, the MEC of our department, MEC Colin Ngata, sends his heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families, and their wishes to encourage parents, families, as well as members of a community, as well as community-based organizations, including political organizations, to rise up and assist the department and the government in general in arresting the increasing number of fatalities during this season.
And these deaths were recorded across various areas, am I correct?
Correct, madam.
Where are you seeing the biggest problem as far as the deaths of initiates in this summer initiation season?
Yes, the district that has got the biggest number is OR Tambo, followed by Alfred, so as well as Christianity municipalities. Those ones have got quite bigger numbers compared with others in the province. However, we don't want it to a situation where we drop our guard in our areas. Our monitoring teams are up and about, ensuring that any kind of risk is mitigated to ensure that the number of fatalities does not increase as is happening at the moment. Remember, as of yesterday, a month has the boys have exhausted a full month in the bush, and as of today, we are starting a second month because the season started on the 12th of November and will be closing on the 12th of January 2022. So our concern is that if we don't ensure that we tighten stakeholder engagement, we enlist the support of community-based organizations, these numbers could swell to bigger bigger figures going forward.
And the schools where the young men died, are they all still operating?
Come again? Are they also?
Are the schools where the young men died, are they still operating, or have they been closed while investigations continue?
What normally happens is that in a situation where a risk has been identified, the schools, be it legal or illegal, are closed, and the boys are taken, are handed over to their parents and their families. In this particular case, where risks have been identified, those schools have been closed, and the boys referred back to their families and their parents.
And I appreciate, sir, that you may not be able to speak to all of the initiation schools that have now been closed and there were these deaths. But for the young men who are now back with their families, were they all still healthy? Were they still fine? Or were there signs that they too were unwell?
What normally happens, then, is that in terms of the composition of our monitoring teams, we've got district medical officers. Those are qualified medical practitioners who conduct first aid or any other rapid medical assistance that is required. So those ones that require medical attention they get referred to the nearest hospital for immediate medical attention. Those that are seen to be in a good health status, they are sent back to their families without any kind of referral to the medical center.
What about responsibility and accountability? I know in the Eastern Cape, over the years, you've been trying to fight illegal initiation schools. Were the ones where there were these deaths, were they all legitimate?
No. It's a mixture. You do find a situation where boys who are in the bush have been medically examined health-wise. They have been tested for COVID, and they were found to have been negative COVID-wise, and also to be healthy in terms of their health condition. However, if you talk about the deaths that we have registered thus far, they are found both in legal and illegal initiation schools, unfortunately.
And Mr. Ngam, at this early stage, has anyone been held accountable or arrested, or are you waiting for the investigations to conclude?
We do have people, 5 people that have been arrested, not in relation to the 23 deaths. The deaths are still under investigation. Those people who have been, the 5 I'm referring to, who have been arrested, they have been arrested for breaking the law. They have been found to have circumcised underage boys unlawfully without the consent of their parents. So those numbers are quite increasing. However, given the magnitude of the challenges that we have in the province, we could be seeing an increasing number of people who are being arrested for violating the Act. For instance, this morning, a case of unlawful circumcision has been opened in Elliot against a policeman. So in situations where we are alerted to wrongdoing, we do act rapidly to ensure that we bring to book those people who continue to break the law and undermine the rule of law.
Mamkeli Ngam, spokesperson for the Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs Department in the Eastern Cape. Grateful for your time, sir, and thank you very much for updating us and correcting us, in fact, on that number. Not 27 initiates who died in the Eastern Cape so far. The number is, in fact, 23. We do apologize for getting that wrong.